And et comme d'habitude, je traîne la plantation. Ah oui, autre chose que je veux faire, c'est éteindre la lumière. Voilà, tac. Très bien. Voilà, on va s'arrêter un instant et on va enlever tout ça. Ça marche. Ça marche. Il ne fait pas si chaud que prévu finalement. Alors, le plan pour aujourd'hui, c'est de aller jusqu'au magasin en ville, aller voir les vélos à Riesemühle, spécifiquement leur modèle de light, tout en sachant que les nouveaux moteurs Bosch ont été annoncés cette semaine et que probablement le nouveau moteur n'est pas encore adopté sur leur modèle. Ce qui, en soi, peut-être l'opportunité de recevoir des bons prix sur les anciens modèles. Mais je ne sais pas si ça m'intéresse de trop. En tout cas, je voudrais faire un test ride. So the plan today is to ride downtown via the forest to the bike shop where they sell Riesemühle touring bikes and try the Delight model. And make a nice workout out of it. I will not go via the shortest way. Just have some fun. Or perhaps alternatively also make a hook via the Schleck bike shop, show them the COBI system. Because apparently in the Schleck bike shop, oh, this is new, nice workout area, good idea. I was saying then in the Schleck bike, they never sold any COBI unit. Maybe now a good opportunity. And, oh yeah, and they have the Focus bikes over there. Those are nice. The new Focus bikes will be out in September, and they have the new Bosch motor and the new power tube. Which is nice. Currently the new Bosch motor decouples when not under load, under electrical assistance, and has a more bike feeling after the electrical power stops, and that's very interesting. That would really preclude, or let's say, not make necessary the tuning of the bike to remove the assistance, because on my bike, once you pass that 25 kilometers per hour, the assistance stops, and then you are pushing against the internal drag of the motor. You're pushing against the extra weight of the bike, and you're pushing against your own excess weight, and there is no way you can get up steep hills at the end of the ride, when you're tired and your battery just quit, is empty, and you have no assistance. With the Bosch motor Performance 9 CX that I have on this bike, which I bought 4 years ago, the pedal cadence is multiplied by 2.5 and transmitted to the sprocket, the front sprocket, which is a small toothed ring, very simple, that doesn't look like a normal chain ring because of its small size. And to have that multiplication, you need to have internal gearing. And if you watch movies of the opening and cleaning of a Bosch Performance Line CX motor, you realize that it has 10 bearings, each of which can and will have internal resistance, about 5 wheels that are used for several things, including what I just mentioned, which is to good. Multiply the cadence of your pedaling. Each crank tour will transform into 2.5 tours of the sprocket. Let's go, baby. All right. I'm testing for the first time the Pro camera, GoPro camera. Before I used to film with the Garmin VIRB Elite, but I did not have a chest strap for it. I used to connect it to my handlebar, and I realized that the noise and vibrations of the motor were being recorded, picked up by the Garmin VIRB camera very much, a lot more than I could hear them. Of course, my head is the farthest away from the bike motor, and I think the camera received also the noise via the frame and the handlebar vibrations. It sounded real loud. Here we are. So now it's a right turn, and off we go. Good. Perfect. And also the handlebar mount transmitted every sound when the terrain was not smooth. You can hear the clinking and clonking. It would vibrate a lot, so the image would also not be stable at all. But I must say that the Garmin VIRB and the Garmin VIRB Edit software are excellent to record your activities, because they have an internal GPS and because they don't embed the GPS data in the video files, the digital video files, the MPEG-4s. They don't embed it. Therefore, the VIRB Edit software downloads directly from the camera the files. I should not have come this way, actually. I made a small routing mistake. All right. Well, let's turn this mistake into some fun. Or I go first to the other shop. That also works. Good. We cross the street, and I'll continue my comments on the VIRB camera. So, the VIRB camera saves the GPS data on a separate GPX or even in another second format in the camera, which then the VIRB Edit software downloads into the computer, puts it somewhere in the hidden bowels of your file system of Windows in my case, and you can then overlay a lot of gauges on the video. My favorite are the speed, the heading, the map, the relative altitude or height, and when I'm using the COBI system and transmit it to Strava, I can also pull the GPX files from Strava, and they include heart rate via my Bluetooth heart rate monitor, which I'm recording now. I like this ring, digital ring from the COBI. And it includes the cadence, which is displaying right now, both heart rate and cadence. And the cadence is there recorded via the COBI, sent to Strava, and you can download the GPX file from Strava onto your computer, your laptop, import it in VIRB in Edit, and then overlay the gauge on your video, which makes it quite an interesting video to watch, much more than if you're just watching people riding. With the GoPro camera, it's quite a different story. The GoPro camera embeds the GPS data onto the video file itself. It's not a separate file that you can download separately from the camera. It's embedded in the file. The GoPro editing software is called Quik and only allows you to create very short 30 seconds or 60-second videos, and you have to select highlights from your rides. Then it will add some music, and it can, if you select, overlay the GPS data. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oop. Oh yeah, baby. Come on. I'm not very good at this stuff. I prefer this kind of trails, but going down steep rocks and stuff like that is not my cup of tea. But then, because of my extra weight and my technique, I avoid them. Luckily enough, there's plenty of these around my area, and I just have some fun. Anyway, to come back to the Garmin and the GoPro cameras, what I'm thinking about doing today for the first time with the GoPro video. Oh, by the way, the GoPro does have a chest mount which isolates the camera from the vibrations, and hopefully the noise of the motor makes it a more quiet video. The camera itself has the same battery endurance as the VIRB. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I will have to use the Garmin VIRB edit to process and overlay the gauges on the videos recorded with the GoPro camera. So I'm thinking about doing the following. Import the video files from the camera using the GoPro Quik software, then shut it down, go on Strava and download the GPX files onto my computer, then open VIRB edit, copy the files from GoPro onto the VIRB edit software and graphical interface, import the GPX files into, oh, I have to get this, hold on, allô, tu m'entends? Allô? Allô? Oui, je t'entends. Ça va, chérie? Ben, je suis en forêt en ce moment. J'ai commencé il y a 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Ils sont partis très tard. Et donc, ne compte pas sur moi pour midi, ok? Allô? On a été coupé. Maintenant, comment vais-je faire pour arriver à l'autre côté? Et par ici. Ok. Allô chérie. Donc, oui, 1h30 encore, je crois. Non, non, je vais rouler encore pendant 1h30. Bon, mais il est déjà tard, il faut manger.
Est-ce que tu auras envie de manger ça seul ton bateau?
Ah oui, ça oui.
Mais alors, je l'ai fait quand même déjà ça, c'est... il faut que tu seras là.
Ok, ça marche. Coûte. Allez, deck cousse. Ciao. Ça va tes dents?
Oui, ça va, j'ai juste je te dis, je n'arrive pas bien à parler.
Oui, ok. Alors, je t'embrasse, à tout à l'heure. Ciao. Voilà, l'appel fini. Le phone reprend la main. Kobe a continué à enregistrer, pas de problème. Très bien. Donc, pour revenir à ma stratégie, utiliser VIRB edit, importer les fichiers GoPro, importer les fichiers GPX de Strava in English. So, to come back to my strategy, it would be to import the video files from GoPro, import the GPX from Strava, and then synchronize both of them. Wow, this is amazing. I like it here. Synchronize them and overlay the data from the GPX file onto the video from GoPro, because the embedded GoPro GPS data is no good to me, considering that the Quik software only uses it to create 60-second videos. So basically, if you have a 2 hours ride, you have to select 4, 5, 10 highlights. I don't remember exactly the number of highlights. There's a limit. Once you've selected the highlights, it will create, snip, cut and paste, I don't know how it's called, the video around those highlights, embed the music. If you had selected GPS data, you will see it, but it's not ideal. There we go. Turn left here. And e-mountain bike mode. Up we go. And the alternative to my current camera predicament would be to buy an adapter that would allow me to use the Garmin camera. Oh, maybe I go up there or not. Let's continue this direction and mounted on the chest adapter of GoPro, but the Garmin VIRB camera is long, and so it will be hanging out from my chest like the alien from the Alien movies. Alright, and will vibrate a lot. It will be on my way, whereas the GoPro camera is a flat camera, ideal for that kind of filming or mounting on the chest. Perfect. Such nice place to ride. Fantastic. My wife called me. I'm going to change the program. What I'm going to do now is to continue parallel to this waterway. I don't know if you can call it a river. It's not a river. It's a stream. And then all the way down and back. All right, this is the moment I play with the roots. I don't have a seat post that can descend, but put my butt behind my seat and that'll do. There you go. Stick out the elbows, make them parallel to the suspension is one of the tricks I was taught. Raise your butt from the seat and you become a riding machine, an e-bike riding machine. Actually, e-bikes transform normal people like me into Olympic e-bike riders. Uh-oh. Technology has improved so much the last 10 years. It's quite amazing what we can do these days that you couldn't do back then. I mean, when I was in my 30s, 35, all I had was a normal mountain bike, no electricity. I bought it secondhand, specialized stump jumper, and I was already getting out of shape by that age. Every time you had to go up a hill, whew, your knees hurt, your muscles burn, you were out of breath, no fun. Then they came out with the e-bikes, and you could again ride, enjoy your ride, do sports without exhausting yourself, really, without exhausting. With an e-bike you can ride and still, how can I say, ride in your aerobic zone, which means you're not out of breath. There are two cycles. The physiology is aerobic, meaning there's sufficient air to produce all the chemical reactions that will create the energy that your muscles need to move. So you basically are not out of breath when you're doing aerobic sports, and you will not produce lactic acid. And then there's the contrary to that, which is the anaerobic cycle, where you will produce energy more than what the oxygen available in your cell allows, and then you change cycle, and that cycle will finish with a acid called the lactic acid accumulating in your cells, which is what burns at the end of such effort, and even a couple of days after, and makes your muscles very stiff. You know that you're going into that regime when you go out of breath. If a person is running a 100-meter dash, it will be an aerobic. A 200-meter dash, a 400-meter dash, and parts of distances like 800 meters, and yeah, you get the point. Yeah, short, quick races, and you see them breathing heavily at the end of the race, because then they are taking in the oxygen that they've used. Whereas if you're doing endurance jobs, workouts or races, you will stay in your aerobic zone 90-95% of the time. Only when you do a sprint will you go into that area where you produce lactic acid. Wow. And so with an e-bike you can at the touch of the thumb select more or less assistance, use more or less of your own power. Oh yeah, baby. I like it. Here we go. Nice. Almost struck my handlebar onto the tree. There we go. Hop. Yeah, and then you can ride long distances, have fun when you're going up the hill. Just select more assistance and then go out one day after the other, and when you're tired going back home, the bike will help you. Of course you have to manage the battery discharge. If you are going for a long ride, you can count on 60 kilometers of assistance using the tour mode for my weight and fitness level. If you ask for the EMTB assistance level, I would reduce that to 40 kilometers of electric assistance, knowing that at some speeds like I was doing now, beyond 25, the assistance will stop. You're riding under your own power and the battery is not being discharged. So in tour mode, 60 kilometers will leave you a final reserve to return home. I got slapped by those branches. Ah, beautiful crossing. The idea is to take the bike path over 200 meters or so, and then go back in, up and in the opposite direction. Enjoy some more wooden trails. Bike paths are all good for long distance rides, but not for mountain biking with these tires. Make so much noise and vibration, create so much drag. And I think this is the place. No. Ooh. I need even TB mode. Here we go. I made a mistake. I was not in the right gear to start this climb. Okay. I love it here. Thanks to e-mountain bikes, I can ride here now, have fun. This place would have exhausted me in the past. I would have avoided coming here. But now I just ride and have fun. And I'm still doing some sport. Look at this. I'm pushing the wrong button. There you go. This is what I wanted. I'm still getting acquainted with the COBI system. And I have not memorized it correctly. And now I'm riding and trying to learn how it works. It's not the ideal situation. But look at me, here I am, on top of this hill, in a very nice trail, only because of this excellent machine that I'm using. I love it. I highly recommend to everybody. E-mountain bike is the sport. And today is the longest day of the year, 21st of June. And it's a beautiful day in my region. Love it. Okay, so I was saying, I get some workout. As you can see, my heart is up there at 130, 147. And I think that's a fluke now. My heart rate monitor sometimes has a little hissy fit. Holy macro, this is dangerous. All right, let's go this way and around. Good. Oof. Use this path, the lower path, yes. The lower path. The other one is broken. Then we will pass under the bridge of the highway. I'm quite familiar with this trail. It's quite fun, but you stay focused, because a small mistake can mean you end up down the hill. LSA mountain bike. Okay, interesting. So now, be careful. Little pause. Okay, ready? Go again. Yeah, this is the thing about the MTB system, is that when you are starting under this power mode, it pushes you really a lot. If you're in a low gear and going up, then your front wheel will just rise and you will lose control and your tire will skid. So better start with a lower power mode and then change to EMTB once you're on your way. Hope that the new motors solve this. Anyway, I'm not thinking about I can't say that. Let me say it sincerely. I am very, very much curious about any bike using the new Bosch motors, or for that matter the Bros S Mag motor and the new power tube batteries that can have 625 watt hours, which is 125 watt hours more than the current battery the bigger that Bosch offers and I have on this bike. So more range, better integration into your bike. The motor decouples when you go beyond 25 kilometers per hour, and apparently the start up the hill are smoother. So I'm very curious about the mountain bikes that they will come up with that system, namely from a Focus, which the Andy Schleck shop in Itzisch sells. The track bikes as well, of course, but so far I haven't seen any ad for the track, any video, any comments from the track company with the new Bosch motor. And I'm sure they will come out with something. And the Focus have released information and videos about their Jam Square, and that's another model. There's other brands that all the Bros S Mag motor. It's the Bulls and it's the Specialized. The Specialized I think is the Turbo Levo, and if you want the bigger battery you must go for the S-Works model or the Extreme model. So it will be in the full name would be Specialized Turbo Levo Extreme or Specialized Turbo Levo S-Works. It's, I know, barbaric name conventions. And the Bulls have the Evo bikes and the same kind of nomenclature to distinguish between the ones with the Bros S Mag motor with 500 watt hour battery or the 700 watt hour battery. And then you have, oh yeah, I have to, nice, oh yeah, woohoo, I love it, holy shit, oh yeah. Where was I saying? Yeah. And then Bosch came out with a nicer integration of their COBI system, which I'm using now. I bought aftermarket directly from COBI, and the new Bosch systems will have it integrated in your handlebar, and below the phone they will also have a small digital display, so if your phone is in your pocket or you don't have your phone with you, you can still use the COBI and your bike, which I think is excellent. Really looking forward to that. And I am looking towards Riesenmühle, the light versions of the bike that have two external 500 watt-hour battery use the Performance Line CX motor. I'm sure they will adapt the new motor from Bosch into their the light machines. Then you combine that with a roll-off hub gear with the shifter E14. It's an electric shifter. It's all integrated, so when you shift, the motor stops in a split of a second, providing power. You have 14 gears. You have a belt drive, no derailleur, so it will be a fantastic long distance riding machine. Oh, I have to wait to turn left back into the trail. Nobody behind. Here we go. All right. So I was saying, then you can ride very long distances with this bike because of the two. Let me turn here. Go for an extra few kilometers. Have a long distance touring bike that will be bulletproof. You won't have to be oiling the chain and worried about the derailleur. Everything will be internally geared, protected from dust, stones and all that stuff. The belt is very durable, very resistant, low maintenance, and so you don't have to worry about taking replacement chain with you on the ride. Long distance rides of 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. You don't have to worry about breaking your derailleur against some stone or something like that. All you have to do is make sure you have sufficient electricity in those batteries, and all the rest will work. The Delight is a dual suspension model, and oh yeah, baby, oh yeah. The Delight is a dual suspension model, dual battery, so you'll have the comfort of the dual suspension. And most importantly, with the new Bosch motor, when you're on those long bike paths and you have passed the speed of 25 kilometers per hour. Here we go, beautiful. You have minimum resistance to advancement because you are riding flat, and the gears or the drag inside the motor will be a lot less than with the current motor that I'm using now. So you will be using almost the same energy that you would use if you were touring on a normal bike. And when you go up, you have the assistance, and when you have headwinds, you have the assistance. So I'm really looking forward to those models. I'm guessing that they will announce by the end of this year. It will be 2020 models, and I'll order one most likely for summer or spring of next year. Crossing fingers. Left turn here. Fantastic ride. I have a new back tire from COBI. I think it's the Nobinik. It replaced the Buttringer original tire, which was not nearly as well protected, and it also has a better profile. The new tire does. Okay, under the highway again. Hoopla, horse manure. This way. Alright. Don't fall off the cliff. It's always a good option. Alright. So I was saying, this new back tire has a lot more side thickness and more material. It's a little bit heavier, but boy, it's much grippier, much more comfortable. I feel empowered to have such big tire in the back pushing me with, whoo, here we go. Yes. With the original tire, I had punctures 3 times in 3 years, in 2 years, I would say. Wrong way perhaps. And I'm also in the wrong gear. Yeah, I have to turn around. Let's do that here. Almost tipped over there. Right. Yeah. And to compound the problem of the continuous tire punctures, I had Buttringer tubes that had defects. So I put the tubes on, then I went ride. Actually, I went ride, had a flat tire, took the tube out from my reserve under my seat post, and then pumped air into it. Yeah, and air was not holding. So my last ride with those tires, I had to call a taxi. 2 years before that, I had 2 punctures at different rides. Second puncture was the same problem. The tube had a defect, and my mistake was, when I got back home, not to throw all the Buttringer, or to test all of them before I put them in my reserve. Thought it was just a fluke, but I ended up having 2 replacement tubes with defects. Bad quality control from Buttringer. All in all, I'm not impressed with their products. Although the Trek Bikes has a Buttringer handlebar stem, has a boot ringer seat, and I think a seat post stem. Maybe you can hear it. Both tires sing with different pitches. The front tire is a low pitch and the back tire is a high pitch, or the opposite actually. High pitch in the front and the back tire is more whoa. So the basic three brands on this bike are Trek for the frame and probably the handlebar. Four brands, I'm thinking of a fourth. It will be Shimano for the chain, for the derailleur and cassette and the brakes. It will be Bosch for the motor, the hub and the Entuvia thumb controller. And the Fox suspension. Oops, wrong suspension. Actually it has a RockShox suspension, both front and back. And it has the Bootringer brand, which is part of the Trek family. Hoopla. And here we are at the Andy Schleck Cycle shop. Oh, great! Look at this. All right, let's go. Oui, je serai là dans 30 minutes. Je suis au niveau du magasin de Andy Schleck. Ah oui. Ok. Alors, à bientôt. Ciao chérie. C'est intéressant. Not playing. Ok, on laisse alors. Hein. Allez. Fitness. Been waiting for so long. Gonna make it get you. That was not good. Should have rang the bell. And change gear. Oh! Bonjour l'autruche. Il ne s'attendait pas à me voir. Les gros animaux. Allez.